What's up, everybody? My name is Bobby, and I'm with Wild Raven Tarot. Excuse me. You're gonna find out why I'm coughing in a moment. Um, Tonight I was on the Essence of the Moon channel with a panel of 10. Aote was there, Rochelle was there, Debbie was there, and Star was there. It was a lot of people. It was a wonderful panel on witchcraft and belief and how we view ourselves and how we want other people to view us. Um, Hi, Selena. I see she's in the crowd. What's up, my boo? Yeah, we could have gone on and on with that panel. So good job on keeping it flowing. So we're going to answer questions, and these are questions that were given to me by Selena that were had to do with the show we were doing earlier. I'm going to go ahead and start entering these. Hold on, let me turn down the brightness on my phone. There we go. So the first question: who was the first witch you recognized in yourself? I'm assuming this is a pop culture reference. And it's funny that this question would be asked because I was thinking about this. And the first witch I saw myself, or the first witch I wanted to be like in pop culture, was Uncle Arthur from Bewitched, played by Paul Lynn. I wanted to be that dude so bad. It was hilarious. He was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And so, yeah, that was the first witch I saw. He was funny, always getting into trouble. Okay. All right. Question number 2. How were witches in your ancestry or culture treated, honored, hidden, or persecuted? In my personal ancestry, it was just a thing. We weren't running around in cloaks and witches' robes. Hi, Annie. How you doing, babe? Um, Yeah, it was just a thing in our family. It was just accepted. My dad didn't like it. That's what drove my parents apart. That plus he was abusive. Um, but his whole family just swore up and down my mom was a witch, and our family's like, yeah, and um, it's not something we ran around talking about though. So I'm gonna go hidden, personal family. Uh, Question number 3. Do you believe you had past lives as a witch? If so, what era calls to you? Well, that's a good question. Um, I know I've been on this earth many times before. Um, Sometimes as a helper and sometimes as a taker. That's life. We have to learn all aspects of it, right? Um, 3 eras stood out during a reading I had about 30 years ago, 40, 35 years ago. My gosh, it was a long time. Um, the first one, I was a priestess on a beach with white colored sand with gauze dressing type, a very light silk or light material, kind of gauzy. Um, Dark skin, beautiful wavy black hair. And the vision I had was standing on the beach with my arms raised to the sun and the elements. The next, so I knew I was a witch in that one. The next or I was a witch. I was actually um in the church as some kind of cardinal or a red cap wearing dude. I don't know what they are. Um, I didn't want to be there. It was a obligation thing. I knew that much, and everybody wanted a piece of me for something because the vision I had was just people hands pulling at me. Um, I'm still working on that one. Understanding that life. So there's that. The third life is the most powerful and the oldest that I could at that time access. And that was a rider on horseback, a warrior. Hey Sherry, how you doing, love? Uh a warrior Hun type person. The hat, the leathers, the horses. In that life, I believe I was a shaman of some kind. Um, that life I did examine further, and turns out that there were major issues with my brother, who it turns out was somebody I ran into and have had on my channel, Angel. Um, I'm gonna have him on to talk about that sometime. Hey, what's your best friend? Anyway, so 3 lives in the past that I know were spiritual, and there's something about them, those 3 lives, that tie in with this life. So that is part of my regular meditation. And come this Samhain, when the veil is at its thinnest, I'll be doing divination work to try to find out more about that life. Every year I do this. So before we go on, I'd like to take a moment to honor Miss Tarot D's birthday present to me. Don't be jelly. Okay, so our third question. Oh, that was the third question. Okay, our fourth question. What tools, herbs, or rituals feel like home to your craft? I'm a divination witch and a fire witch primarily. My element is fire, fire and air. Um, my go-to ways of working magic are thread magic / not magic, and candle magic. At least that's always been. But I'm in the process, excuse me, of learning herbology, herb lore, to expand my magical practice. This is one of the oils I made. I call it, it's a Hermes oil. I call it the Golden Sword. Oh, it's so good. Selena, I'm sending you some. I'm just waiting for the bottles to get here. Um, oh, girlfriend, I did. They freaking sent out the True Black and the Ephemera to my address, so I'll send it to you as soon as it gets here. Um, tarot cards. Tarot cards are my go-to for magic. Tarot cards and candles together, big thing for me. Herbs, saffron, because it comes from the crocus flower, which is sacred to Hermes. Lavender, sacred to Hermes. Strawberry, sacred to Hermes. Chocolate, sacred to Hecate. Um, how to use chocolate in magic, you ask? We'll talk about that on my show sometime. Um, yeah, so I think that answers that. Oh, my favorite stone is citrine because it transmutes energy. It doesn't deflect negative energy. It's not an averter of evil. It will take that energy and it will change it. It will transmute it um, into positive energy that you can access and use. That's why everything that comes at me makes me stronger, literally. Next question. Chocolate or magic, yes. Especially for Mexicans because the cacao and the Aztec, the whole thing, very cool. Now, have you ever been gatekept or told you weren't a real witch? How did you respond? Yes, I was many times throughout my life. I am in my mid 50s and um your transmutation oil is phenomenal, Selena. Yes. Um throughout my life, I've been told that witchcraft is a woman's religion. That unless you're a woman, you can't work magic. You can't do this. You can't do that. But at the same time, I'm reading books by Stuart Farrar and Raymond Buckland, um, Aleister Crowley, who are all men in the field. The Golden Dawn, another. Yeah, I let people tell me a lot of things when I was younger because I was too young and inexperienced to know how to stand up for myself properly. Um, it was my family that told me absolutely men can be witches. Um, that's why Uncle Arthur from the Bewitched show was so cool with me. Hey, Krista, I do need to get with you after the show. I'm gonna email you. We got to set something up for your reading. Um, yeah, that's the only real thing I've been gate kept on is people telling me because of my gender I won't be able to work magic. Men have a magic of their own, just like women do. Women give birth, men initiate the cycle. It's a whole thing. So, which archetype speaks most? The healer, the seer, the midwife, the hedge-walker, the death worker. Um, the communicator. I bridge. I bridge. I bridge gaps between people. I work with Hermes, the great communicator. I do this show to reach people, to help bring people together. Um, I do believe that in doing that, being a healer does come into effect. So that activates. Um, I am a liminal witch. I am a hedge witch. I do ride the line between the light and the dark. Um, can you message? Yeah, as long. Yes, I can. I can do that, Krista. I will do that. She's saying to message her. Um, so your readings and speaking with deceased loved ones, communicating with them. Yes, I'm a bridge. Um, I do a lot of ancestor work. I bridge the line between here and there. I create a connection. That used to scare me when I was younger. Um, and that fear came from Christian people. I let them override my sense of duh. So, yeah, because Hermes and Hecate are both psychopomps and have heavenly associations as well, Oniros and Onera, um, and Ketonia and Ketonio, I believe is how you pronounce it. I rarely have to say it out loud. Um, Above and below, I am in the between space, so I guess yes, a hedge-walker. How do you balance fear, persecution, judgment with empowerment and calling yourself a witch? Not well at times. Um, I am in the process of, I just launched my website again, but I didn't do that for a long time because I didn't want my husband's family, when I say family, my husband's family to come at me because they're all very Christian, we're all very mega. Um, but I can't live my life in the shadows so somebody else can walk in the light. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be myself. And if people don't want me in their lives, well, that's up to them. Speaking of being a bridge, can I ask you a question when you're done? I had an experience today. Yes, when we're done, Annie, remind me, and I'll go ahead and answer that for you. Hey, what's up, Aspacia? I'm not going to hide myself anymore. If you see me on TV doing local events, if you hear me on the radio talking about it, if you hear me or see me online, I love you guys. I really do, but I love me too. Um, so yeah, there is a great amount of fear with that. And then because I do this for a profession, my personal information is more accessible. Um, there is a level of fear. And I have friends around me like Selena and Ramon and Joey. Joey, oh my gosh. Joey and her wife have helped me get through so much this past year. Yeah. So stepping out of the shadows, coming out of the broom closet, people. How do you balance fear? Okay, we did that one. Share a moment where magic revealed itself undeniably in your life. I'll give you two, an old one and a new one. The old one is I was a teenage runaway. Me and a friend stole a car and we were in California. We were headed to his girlfriend's house in Arizona. Drove for 2 days, didn't know where the hell we were going, and we get into Arizona. Yeah, it took us 2 days to get into Arizona. That's how fucking out of place we were. Um, it came up as we were driving around that he didn't have her address, and I flipped out. I didn't know where we were going. And Sven, if you ever watch this, fuck you. We were driving around, and I said, "Okay, hold on, I need to think." And I made a couple turns. I was looking for a shady, quiet street to think on. And he says, "There it is. That's it. That's her RV." And I'm like, "Okay, at least now I know what we're looking for." And he says, "No, that's it. That's her stickers and everything." And I was like, "No way." But he got out of the car and went up to the door, and sure shit, it was her house. We drove straight to it. Um, I believe that the old man we picked up on the freeway in the desert and gave a ride to was an avatar. I honestly do believe it because we literally, from that meeting with him, drove to her house. So that is magic to me. Um, the second one was recent. I have this past couple weeks, something happened that really shook me up hard. And I thought I was broken and shattered into pieces. But um, I literally had everywhere I turned was the goddess. Everywhere for a split second. It was like I was slammed. I was being knocked. I was being hit hard. I was being grabbed and shaken. Shaken. That's what I was experiencing. I was being shaken. Um, like you know when you see in the old Star Trek, when the ship gets hit and everybody's doing like this. That's what I felt like, but it wasn't to knock me off balance. It was waking me up. It was shaking me like, wake the fuck up, you bitch. Um, During that feeling of being shaken, I found a song online that I sent to Selena, um, about Hecate that just hit me in my soul. And then the flames on the altar were dancing, and the dogs outside started barking. And when dogs bark, the goddess is near. It's just everything. It was a magical moment that snapped me back into reality. Um, so that was magic. That that's exactly what I felt. Um, Question number 9: which tarot or oracle card best represents the witch in you? Well, I'll show you. Exciting and new. You know, there are so many decks and so many cards. There's 22 major archetypes in the tarot. Not only am I this one card, but I'm this one card from this one deck, and I want to pull it out for you. I should have done this ahead of time. I apologize. Just sit here and watch my pretty ass. And I would like to point out, Selena, that earlier I was not the one that brought up Chris Butler. It was you. Are you kidding me? Where is it? All right, who took my card? There it is. It was you. All right. This is the Magician card from the Healing Light Tarot. the Christopher Butler deck that I admire so much, and that Ramon from the Moon Scarab channel admires so much. This Jack, hi Jackie. Um, this deck is phenomenal. It's light, it's dark, it's gorgeous, it's sexy, it's everything, and it's personalized with my logo on the back. But the magician is the great manifester. He builds. His Hebrew letter association in the alphabet is bet, B. Um, it means house. Okay, the magician builds, erects something. Erect. It's also ruled by the planet Mercury. I know, Gerald. Shocking. Um, it's ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication. That is why I view myself as a communicator. I communicate messages from the divine to the world. Joan Miranda! I have to say it like that. Um, and my work is an oracle. People think that being an oracle for Hermes means I could just talk in the God voice or something like that. No, it doesn't work like that. Um, yes, I do get messages from my Lord and Lady, but it allows me to be a conduit for other people to reach their divinity. Um, let's say the goddess Oshun, who I'm really not familiar with, but um, I could get a message from. There's certain gods and goddesses that it's unmistakable when they're speaking to you. When Thor speaks, that rumbling happens in the back of my ears. It's just like inner thunder. um, yeah, everybody has their own flavor. Um, everybody has their own set of glasses, I should say. So when I sit down to do readings, if I'm doing oracular readings, certain decks will make me view through certain eyes and certain gods. Uh, switching out other decks will make me see through other gods' eyes and hear. It's very difficult. I really need to work on putting that into words, don't I? I'll worry about that later. So, the magician represents the witch in me, the communicator, the manifester, um, the sneak, because I do work in the shadows a lot. I do like to let life take its course and step in at the proper moment. What wisdom would your inner witch whisper to the collective if he could speak? Oh, did you really? You spent Saturday celebrating with Oshun. That's probably why she came to mind there, Gerald. Um, never let your past define your future. We fuck up. We fuck up, we fall down, we stand up, and we start over. Um, I always thought that was the main difference between witches and Christians. Or when we fall down, we don't blame it on a devil. We say, "Shit, I fell." We pick our asses up and we start over. We don't say the devil made me do it, or that was evil in the air. Um, we take responsibility. We pick ourselves up. dust our kneecaps off, go on. And don't ask what I was doing on my knees. What wisdom would your inner witch whisper to the collective? Never let your past define your future. All right. We all fall down. Pick yourself up. Become something new that is truly you. All right. That's right, Selena. I was praying. Jackie, you couldn't have said it better. Shit happens. For young witches, I truly believe in teaching people how to think, not telling them what to think. They need to be able to make decisions for themselves on the fly. I can show them traditional things, but you're going to have to figure it out all on your own, boo boo. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. That's right. It happened. It's part of us. Accept it, embrace it, and move on. Grow from love. Yeah, I think that's the only really, that and the golden rule. I was raised with the golden rule, and somebody brought it up on the panel we were talking earlier. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's magic right there. On a deeper level, it's watch how you interact with people because shit will come back to you. Yeah. Don't let people guide your thoughts. Take the information they have and decide what's right for you. All right. One of the AA promises of spiritual enlightenment. Yeah, I was in a 12-step program for 20 years. Oh, that reminds me. I did really good at it too. What? And in answer to your question, I started smoking again for pain because of my HIV. Yeah, so those are the answers to my which questions that Selena sent. Before I go, was it Krista? Did you say you had a question? Can you post it for me? Here, I'll lift my glasses so I don't do the Pez head. Good night, Sherry. Love you. And if anybody else has any questions, just toss them in there in capitals so I see it, please. Good night, Gerald. Who was it that said they had a question? Annie, was it you? Darn it, you're going to make me scan back. I knew I should have started. Well, I'll tell you what. Well, whoever it was, post their question to me. I'm going to shuffle up my cards and I'll pull us a couple for the collective before I go for the night. Oh, Selena, that deck you sent, the Divine Masculine, I love it. Karma happens. That's why I always try to treat people kindly. Yep. The bitch you threw under the bus today may be the one driving the bus tomorrow. So watch yourself. All right. What is the question? Annie and the bridge question. All right. Oh, you said there was something that happened to you. That's right. Hey, Jen. Yeah, I do love the deck. It is full of sexy dudes and it feels so slick and soft. Just you are supposed to become you. Um don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. Just be and you will develop, all right? Just live your life. Live your life in the best way you can. Oh, girl, I want to tell you, it feels like a part of a male body. It's so soft. It's just nice. I was laying down earlier today, and I swear you saw your grandma Rose. Ah, have you seen spirits before? Let's dig into this. My answer stands. My question stands. Have you seen spirits before? I have other questions too. This is interactive. And these questions all lead up to something. Trust the process. Hmm. And this is me waiting and waiting. While I wait, smoke them if you got them, peeps. All right. I'm going to answer the question, was it really her? Um, I pulled 3 cards for you from my incredibly awesome Healing Light tarot deck by Chris Butler. That's right. Pop up. Yes, I do believe what you experienced was a spirit visitation. I have the 4 of Swords in reverse. Now, the 4 of Swords is about rest, right? Recuperation. It's a Libra card. It's a balance card. But in my readings with past life work, it's also a coffin. So this is the other side. Um, so you've never had any other. Okay, that's fine. I do think that was a visitation. I do think that um, the next card, 9 of Cups, this is a card of Pisces. Pisces is the house of death, the house of endings. Um, it's also the most spiritual sign, or the most psychic sign, I should say. Sagittarius is the most spiritual. This is the most psychic sign. Um, this is the beginning of something for you, because my next card for you is the 3 of Cups. I love this card. The 3 of Cups is what I call the Coven card. No, but you've heard your dad call your name. Okay, clear audience. Um, you've got 2 of these cards are very psychic. You've got that 9 of Cups, which is the ability to touch the other side. And we've got the 3 of Cups, which is the Coven card. If I had to venture a guess, I would say that your grandmother is wanting to work with you for your betterment. So I would nurture that relationship, um, honor it, find out ways that you could light a candle for her, or if you know she likes a certain song, play it. Um, that just happened to me because while I was getting ready for Selena's show earlier, I was listening to my playlist and I forgot that one of the songs on there is a song called Flores Negras, um, by Edie Gourmet. It was one of my grandma's favorite songs, and when I hear that song, I can feel my grandma. Um, and when it comes on, I can talk to her. I can talk to her and, you know, communicate. So that's one of the ways I communicate with my ancestors is, oh, you know the song, Selena, it's so beautiful, Edie Gourmet. Um, music. If I'm trying to talk to one of my cousins, I may play AC/DC. Um, it depends on who I'm trying to get in touch with. Um, I know if it's one of my aunts. One of them is I don't remember the name of the song. Come on, ride a train and ride it. That one. It's a dance song. Choo choo. Um, I loved her. I love her still. Um, so yeah, my point in all this was embrace the relationship and see where it leads you. Honor it. Create offerings for your ancestors. I know Selena leaves offerings for her ancestors. I think Jess does too. I think a lot of us do. Just light a candle, right, in their honor. Have a cup of tea with them. That's one of my favorite things to do. Just have a cup of tea and talk to yourself. Talk to your ancestors. Just don't do it in public. People think you're nuts. Trust me on this one. Hey, Bridget, you're just in time. All right. Yeah, in my opinion, that visitation was saying that they're more than willing to work with you. You just need to be open to the concept of it. Okay. She loves yellow roses, then get her some. Get her some, and you don't if you don't have an altar, just put them out where you could see them regularly. All right. Um, put her picture under the yellow roses and talk to her. And that's what I have for you tonight, you guys. If people don't have any other questions, my 10-minute show is now into 45 minutes. So much for me and my short shows. I told my husband, 10 minutes, I'll be at 10 minutes. Um, so this weekend, or this week on Behind the Moon, we are going to have Joey, the Veiled Cottage Witch, on. She's so excited. She's going to come and talk about some of the best herbs. No, no readings tonight, Mama. I just was going to do the 10 questions. I made a promise to my old man. It's TV night for us. Spending time together. Love you. No, I don't. I never do a quickie. Always a longie. If you know what movie that's from, points to you. With you, never a quickie. Always a longie. All right, everybody. Love you. Love you all. But I gotta go eat. And remember, never let your future be defined by your past, you guys, okay? Love you. Bye.